Welcome to a very brief introduction uh, of the Kerista TV channel. The channel was co-founded by myself and a friend of mine, and we both date back to the time of the Kerista community experiment back in the 70s and 80s. And we decided to try this channel. I'm not quite sure why we want to do it, but we just found ourselves doing it. Kerista is, when I use the term Kerista on Kerista TV, of course, referring to two aspects of the community that existed in San Francisco. One is the experiment in cooperative living, and the other aspect of Kerista was the experiment of an alternative family structure based on non-monogamy. So most of everything that happened falls under these two broad categories. And we have an idea of the kind of people that may find their way to the channel. Certainly, there will be those from the old school, meaning those who tried some kind of experiment in communal living and alternative lifestyle. And we're now, of course, looking back on those experiences in some way. So that's the old school. And then the new school of viewers will be those that are interested to know precisely or with some more detail about what it was all about, because it may help them in their pursuit of the lifestyles or alternatives that they're currently being challenged with. So, um, in this regard, why we started it, like I say, I could probably talk for an hour on why we started it, but it's just kind of an intuitive feeling that I had that this might be of some value without really knowing fully ahead of time what that might be. The um, the content. So the content we intend to put up, of course, is the content about the community, and it will consist of various things. We already have a few interviews that are going to be going up. We just received an interview from one of the early members of the Kerista tribe from the very beginning of the San Francisco tribe, that is. So he's talking about some of the early days of Kerista. And then we'll be putting up other bits and pieces of the Kerista archive showing one or more aspects of the community. But we're open on content. We're just trying to see, we'll start it out and see where it wants to go, uh, and so on. So that is a kind of a quick overview. Maybe just in closing, um, it's sometimes we have experiences and episodes in our life, and we want to digest them further. What do they really mean? What were they all about? How does it fit into the total picture? Uh, and if we're talking about food digestion, that happens every day. We eat food, we pass out what we don't need, and we get renourished and resupplied, and so that's a digestion that happens quickly. But experiences like some of the ones we've had, or some of the ones that people are trying, uh, there's an aspect of ourselves that knows what we're doing and why we're doing it, but there's also another part of us that is not fully aware of what we're doing and why we're doing it. So we always look back and try to digest the experiences that we've had, and sometimes that takes many, many years. So with that in mind, we're not trying to, on this channel, we're not trying to tell anybody anything or convince them of anything or persuade anybody of anything. We're just trying to present some content that we hope will speak for itself and that will generate perhaps questions and discussions that are relevant to the viewers that are watching. And so in that sense, I hope that the channel it can be a service. So we really want to do a service to the larger community, if that's what we want to call it, so that people can be helped in some way to further their own aims and goals, whether it be personal development or trying to make relationships work better, trying to solve problems with cooperative ventures and so on. So with that introductory, we're going to have some material up very soon to get it started, and we'll just see what happens and where it wants to go. Thank you for listening, and good luck.